it's gonna be a fun approach to it for you, because I've always had a lot of fun watching Taeja play, obviously. But as we loaded the game, I want to give a big thank you to some people like France, 14 months, and the country Rowdy's traveling to. Thank you for the resub. Says love the content. Thank you back. And then Bel Air Starcraft, our good friend, subbing in 4 months. Sorry for the long pause. Homestray Cup wasn't cheap. Oh, dude, that place looks so fun though. It had to have been worth it.
Seemed like it might have been.
I don't even like hot weather. You know this from me. I don't like hot weather. I don't like hot things. I would have loved to have gone to that Homestay Cup though. That looks so fun.
I mean, it actually is right up my alley because I love hot.
No. All right, guys.
Oh, I went to the cold one.
I know, right? We went to the winter one last year. What a mistake. Fools we were. But it is game number 1. Brand new best of 3 here for the GBL season 2. That's the, God, forgive me if I say this wrong, the Gookbap League. It's rice porridge. It's a tournament all about eating food, I guess. Making memes, doing some trash talk. And there's over $450 on the line for today. You guys are helping us raise some of this through Matcherino. Quick reminder and begging that you guys use those free coupon codes up so I can stop talking about it, as we're only at 307 at our 450 goal at the moment. So that being said, let's hop into the intros. I'll grab them both just to get them quick and done. To the top left, we have the red Terran. It's Team Liquid's Taeja.
3-roxing, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to go quick. To the bottom right, his opponent needing to defend this. It's the blue Protoss, Zest.
Who already knows something is up. You don't put down that second supply depot in a professional game unless you're doing something stupid.
You know, this is methinks the lady doth protest too much. But in StarCraft.
Like, if this happens in like Platinum League, you're just like, oh, they don't know build orders. Or, oh, they really don't want to be bothered by a pro. But now, if Taeja does this, he's hiding something.
Oh, and he's not just stopping at 3. Yeah, and it's going to be Marines. Of course, there's no gas takings, so there's no Reapers. Look, this push is not something new and innovative, right? And normally, you could argue it'd be done in proxy, but the idea of this is timing being everything for Taeja. He cannot wait to push. He cannot disrupt his push. If an adept comes to distract him and he has to pull back because his depot's down, that might even just cost him the game. Because this is an attack that can overwhelm the Protoss early, but if it fails in its timing, it's not going to snowball.
So Zest knows something is up, but here's the trick. It could be a proxy. It could be a starport proxy. It could be factory proxy. It could be a command center actually was on the high ground and he was severely bamboozled. And he can't exactly not get a nexus, because what if it was a command center on the high ground? Like, he'd just be behind. But he's got to, like, he knows something is up. He's checking around for the proxies right now. He sees an odd number of Marines.
Well, actually, it's an even number of Marines, zombie group.
Okay. I think the cogs start working in your brain to at least defend your front more than anything else, right?
Yeah.
You're no longer afraid of a shield battery being put down in the main because a Banshee's going to pop up. I would think that might still be on your mind, but a shield battery in the front, I would say is got to happen. But Zest not quite identifying that yet. Just running away from 5 Marines, not an odd number of Marines.
Okay, now he's gonna see. He's pulled the boys with it too. Taeja going all in for this first game.
Well, I think you just cancel the natural, don't you? Like, the Robo will die, because what a placement for the Robo, by the way. Like, what the fuck is up with that?
Yeah, I think if there was like 3 shield batteries down there, that might have been defensible, but I think I agree. Just pull up to the main. So you lose the natural, so what? Your opponent's not mining, right? They're all in. Even lowered some barracks to the low ground to get them out faster. I love it. The attention to detail.
What? As long as it wasn't a stalker. You need all the stalkers possible.
Force field's gonna be a big delay here. There's no way to get around this.
Yeah. Really thinking the adept wasn't supposed to see that at that time. Even taking the opportunity to kill some SCVs.
Oh, then there's no way to get high ground really off this for the Marines to get in there to fight. SCV's pulled into it because, well, I mean, what else can they do? They mineral walk towards the probes.
No, don't chase that. What are you doing?
He needs to slay another force field. I mean, okay, there's like 14 Marines stuck at the same grid point, right? Like, this is, I don't know if this is working. He's got to really focus on the high energy sentry, not the low energy sentries.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this has been handled. This has been manhandled. Taeja has lost this game.
Yeah.
The odd thing here is, like, if he was mining back at home behind this, it might not even be that reprehensible, but it's a loss for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. The adept first was probably the key here, getting that scout. Because shade, you can't do anything about a shade. You just can't. You're gonna see what it sees. And you can't kill the Adept either. In a perfect world, anyways, you shouldn't be able to kill the Adept. So if it was a Stalker first, I think that's where Taeja's build works. And the likelihood of Zest going for a Stalker first is actually quite high. Let's talk about a lot about his Twilight Council openers, and you can get like a decent number of Stalkers and really apply pressure, especially when you think they're only going Marines, and you're going to put some fancy footwork on them.
Well, there's also just this whole thing too. You have to put the supply depot down, but in doing so, you give something away. Like, there's no way for Taeja to like perfectly approach that, right, with what he wanted to do. I just think it was a bad strategy, frankly.
Well, yes, it is also a bad strategy.
Well, it is game 1 out of a possible 3. We'll see if game 2 can come back a little bit harder for Taeja. I will, of course, I have no need to play ads right now because we got a lot of pre-roll time banked up, but I would like to thank you guys for joining, of course. There is an astounding amount of people tuning in this morning. I was saying to Zombie a little bit earlier, like I kind of expected to have some people show up, but there's like a lot. I'm gonna throw that to the Zombie Rifkin magic. Whoosh, we haven't had that in a while, but thank you guys for joining us. If you're not already following the channel, though, I would hope you would consider hitting follow. But I also bring this up as a bit of advertising for Zombie Grub because she is insane and is gonna be doing a big stream. Is it right after this, or when are you streaming today?
Not right after. I gotta like take a shower and eat. But yeah, I'm doing a 12-hour stream. I'm playing Final Fantasy VII, which is obviously not Starcraft. But
wait a minute, what?
Yeah, we're also do like themed drinks, and you can hear me complain about Final Fantasy VII. Go circle jerk over it.
I will tell you guys, if there's one thing I really enjoy, despite not knowing anything about it at all, is listening to Zombie Group complain about the various Final Fantasies, because it comes with a lot of passion and it's very funny.
I can do a lot of complaining, and I guess I can do a lot of complimenting as well. But everyone and their mom comes into any Final Fantasy stream and is like, Final Fantasy VII is the best game. I think even your opinion, it's the best game. Okay, here we go. Like,
here we go again.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of going again, it's map number 2. And to the top right, he's got 1 point on the board. Let's celebrate that with a little bit of cringe, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, we have the blue Protoss. It's Zest!
I can't even follow that up.
It's so
I'm
much
not doing it.
It's so much worse because I can hear it in my own ears, so I know how dumb it sounds. His opponent, the Red Terran from Team Liquid. It's Taeja.
I just love that not only are you using the voice modifier, but you also are doing it with your voice.
I can't help it.
I don't even want to try and mimic that. Taeja either does not like this matchup or is going for the best meme build, but he's already been beat by Supernova.
You know what? I really honestly think a lot of this just has to do with the fact that it's Zest. You're not going to play a macro game against Zest, straight up. And I think that as silly as these look, I don't think Taeja's doing this because, oh, I couldn't care less. I think he's assessed that this is the only way he's got a chance to really take Zest down.
Mate, I just feel like Taeja should not be scared of any person. Like, it's not just because he's good, it's because of the mentality of being a pro requires you to beat these guys occasionally. And if Taeja really is going to be a pro, then he's got to be able to tackle these guys. But as I say that, I know that Taeja was one of the first guys that when a matchup was perceived imbalanced, he would do this. He would just be like, fuck it, and like do proxies and weird shit. And sometimes it was totally in meta and it was fine. Other times it was like, okay, that was a bit disappointing, Taeja. Which is why, here's a big reveal, guys. I'm actually not the biggest fan of Taeja.
And it's fair. It's fine to not be the biggest fan of Taeja. But what's interesting that I do like is that this isn't an all-in. Last game was. So don't make a mistake just because it's a proxy barracks. He's actually about the factory back at home. Unless there's like no command center for the next 10 minutes, then we can start talking about it being different. But it does look like he's got a real game plan this time. So this barracks is a little deceptive, but honestly, it gets him a good scout. The Reaper gets in here in okay time. Unfortunately, he can't stay for very long. Must go home for dinner. Oh, mom's gonna be pissed.
I'm not coming home for dinner. She's gonna kill me.
He didn't even call. Honestly, he didn't even call.
All right, so just by the fact that Taeja didn't go for a factory expand means that he's already like way too committed for my like. This is going back to the days when TvP was literally like, oh, it's not even worth playing. You not only had to open with Proxy Reaper, but you also had, you had to, quote unquote, for a lot of people actually go into 1-1-1. This is committed.
If this was for Banshees, I might actually like this, but I don't know if I have time to get them out. The Woodmine should take care of the Stalker, so woo, freebie. The Reaper could technically deal with the Zealot, so there's no immediate danger for Taeja. And I think that if he does go for Banshees, it's going to give him that harassment potential that he just doesn't have with anything else.
I don't think it'll do much damage, though. The kind of, you start going through the list of the most scary things. The scariest, English is hard.
Yeah, like
the
Slenderman,
things.
vegetables, talking to girls.
Yes. And Banshees are kind of on the top of that list. So how do you deal with Banshees? I mean, the easiest way to deal with it is Stalkers and Show Batteries and Observer, which is something that you're going to be getting kind of anyway, so it doesn't really interrupt your game. Like, I know I'm being super overly critical, but there's a reason that this stuff kind of fell out of fashion, and I like it as one game in a series, except that Taeja already did something odd and weird in the first game. This is the second game.
This is what I would have rather seen in the first game, if I'm being honest. Maybe it's map specific, or maybe it's just desperate, but this weird plea for damage. Like, let's be very clear. Let's break this down. Early game when there's not many units in play, a Banshee, a Cyclone, they're such good 1v1 units. But the second you add in like a Warp Prism, you start warping in a few more Stalkers, these lose a lot of their potency.
Now Zest is doing something very gambly. He is going for an attack as opposed to defending. The Banshee's not quite over to the side of the map. That's the Reaper, so he'll have another warp in, hopefully, to defend that. I know he has an observer, but this is dangerous to do. It looks like it might work, though. Tank's only halfway done.
The fact that this command center had to lift up without becoming an orbital is really rough. SCV's at the bottom of the ramp, too. Lift over the... You can lift over the command center. Aw. Missed opportunity.
That would have been cool.
That would have been a slick save. Warp Prism breaking the lock-ons, though, is huge. I mean, this shuts down the Cyclone damage almost entirely.
Wait, then the Observer's not home. Uh-oh. Zest made a huge mistake here. I mean, he might still win the game.
Oh, you know what? Forcing a recall? Oh, almost gets the Warp Prism. But forcing that recall was huge. Suddenly, this Banshee is not just good for killing probes. It stopped the attack entirely.
Yeah. Obviously, a second Observer could have been huge if he had built it. But I think also it's one of those like things where hindsight 2020, attack until the Banshee pops aggressively and then recall, right? Like you don't have to bring the Observer forward with you to continue the attack. But he thought he had an opportunity, I suppose. Does he still have an opportunity with 2 tanks defending?
I don't know, because you know this still isn't an orbital, right? Like clock's ticking, commanders, and this is not a good position for Taeja to be in. Every second that goes by, the money favors Zest more and more.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, no matter how you slice it, again, Zest, I think, made the more dangerous call by doing this, and is still being really a lot of damage to take, but it's working. So whatever way he does it, he's gonna win the game.
It's funny though, because you're watching him play a little bit carelessly, a little bit callously. It's because he can.
Yeah. Oh, what was the win?
GG. Well, not quite as epic as the first two, but I think somewhat expected with the results. Zest with a 2-0.